Martin Tyler brings you his latest teaser from Old Trafford ahead of Manchester United's match against Tottenham. Martin Tyler brings you his latest teaser from Old Trafford ahead of Manchester United's match against Tottenham. Who has had the best start in Premier League history? Who has played the most teenage players? And is Palace's lack of clean sheets unique? Sky Sports commentator Martin Tyler has the answers to those questions and more. Plus, don't forget to try his tricky teaser. Got a question for Martin? Tweet at Sky Sports Full with hashtag Tyler's Teasers. Starting stats from Man Utd v Tottenham. This was the fourth consecutive home win for Manchester United against Spurs, and the last three have all been 1-0. Tottenham's record in the Premier League at Old Trafford now reads P26W2D3L21. Manchester United are the only team in England's top four divisions yet to concede a home goal in the league this season. That's 5 games this season on top of the last game of last season as well. United have won the opening 5 games at home without conceding for the first time since 1994. That year they went 9 home league games without letting in a goal, but didn't win the title. United have now gone 22 Premier League home games unbeaten and 36 in all competitions since a 2-1 home defeat to Manchester City in September 2016. Match highlights. Man Utd 1-0 Tottenham. Match highlights. Man Utd 1-0 Tottenham. The last visiting player to score against Manchester United in the Premier League remains Gylfi Sigurdsson, then of Swansea, on April 30th. This was Tottenham's first defeat outside of London since they lost on February 16 to Genk in Belgium, and 5 days earlier they lost 2-0 at Anfield. Since then the only games they've lost were the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley on April 22, West Ham on May 5, a home game at Wembley against Chelsea on August 20, and a home game to West Ham on October 25. Teenage kicks. Everton seem to have played lots of teenagers in the last few seasons. Has any place club played more in the last 5 years? Ed. Tom Davies. Right. Is one of 6 teenagers Everton have used in the Premier League since the start of last season. Martin says, Everton have used 6 teenagers in the Premier League since the start of last season: Ademola Lookman, Mason Holgate, Nikola Vlasic, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Tom Davies and Ben Benanjim. That is 2 more than any other club in that period. But to answer your question, since the start of the 2012-13 season, Everton have used 13 teenagers. That's 3 fewer than Merseyside rivals Liverpool, who have used the most, 16. In that period, among those to have played for the Reds in the last 5 years are Ben Woodburn, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joe Gomez, Sergi Canos and Pedro Chirivella. Manchester United are third behind the 2 Merseyside clubs, having given opportunities to 12 teenagers since the start of 2012-13. They include Marcus Rashford, Axel Twansby, Joel Pereira and Angel Gomes, who became the first Premier League player to be born in the 2000s when he appeared against Crystal Palace last season. Chelsea have handed chances to 11 teenagers, such as Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Tammy Abraham, while Manchester City and Southampton have each used 10 teenagers in the same time. Of the teams to have been in the Premier League throughout that period, Swansea have used the fewest teenagers in that time, just 3. Ben Davies, Matt Grimes and Abraham again. Abraham is one of 29 players to play for 2 different Premier League clubs as a teenager, but only one has played for 3. James Milner played in his teens for Leeds, Newcastle and Aston Villa. Starts. Is Manchester City's start the best in place history after 10 games? Marcus. Match highlights. West Brom 2-3 Man City. Match highlights. West Brom 2-3 Man City. Martin says, the current City side are the third team to start a Premier League season with 28 points from 10 games. However, they boast the best goal difference of +2.9, putting them ahead of Roberto Mancini's City in 2011-12, +2.8 goal difference, although they had scored one more goal than the current side, and Chelsea in 2005-06 under Jose Mourinho, +2.0 goal difference. Newcastle round out the top 5 after strong starts in 1994-95 and 1995-96. In 1995, the Magpies took 27 points from their first 10 games with a goal difference of +1.9, while a year earlier they picked up 26 points with a goal difference of +1.8. In both seasons, Newcastle couldn't turn a spectacular start into silverware, and finished second in the league behind Manchester United. Man City vs Arsenal live on Leaky Palace. Palace are yet to keep a clean sheet this season after 10 games. What's the longest a team has gone from the start of a play season without keeping a clean sheet? Smithy. Match highlights. Crystal Palace 2-2 West Ham. Match highlights. Crystal Palace 2-2 West Ham. Martin says, Palace still have a way to go before they even get close to the record, which was set by Blackburn in 2011-12 when they went 27 games from the start of the season without keeping a clean sheet. Rovers eventually managed to end the run with a 2-0 win over Wolves on March 10, but they were still relegated from the Premier League that season. Norwich finished 12th in the league in the same season despite not keeping a clean sheet for 21 games from the start of the campaign. Bolton had a 20-game stretch in 2009-10 that was ended by a win against Burnley on January 26. Leicester went 18 games without a clean sheet in 1994-95, and Middlesbrough had a 17-game spell in 2001. Fox in the box. All of Javier Hernandez's Premier League goals have been scored from inside the box. Has this happened to anyone else? Jezza. Javier Hernandez has scored each of his 41 Premier League goals inside the box. Martin says, according to Opta, there are 101 players who have scored all their goals from inside the box, but only one player on that list have managed more than Hernandez, whose 41 goals have come at Manchester United and West Ham. Leading the way is Tim Cahill, who was renowned for his heading ability. The Australian scored all 56 of his Premier League goals from inside the area. Former Chelsea defender John Terry also scored all 41 of his Premier League goals, all from inside the box. In fourth, below Hernandez, is another former Everton player in David Unsworth with 38 goals, ahead of ex-Reading and Wolves striker Kevin Doyle, 37, and Ian Dowie and Ashley Ward, both 33. Also featuring in the top 10 are Carl Court, 28, Johansson Honaton, 27, Guy Whittingham, 27, Marcus Stewart, 26, and Andy Booth, 25.